Hello and welcome to the Summer Academy Assessment presentation for the Institutional Assessment and Effectiveness course at Messiah College. We're going to be going through the Summer Academy program at the King's College in New York City. My name is Noah Hunter. This is our agenda for today. We're going to be talking about the Summer Academy program in general, the Learning Outcomes Grid, the survey we've compiled, the timeline in which we will complete the survey and distribute results, recommendations and conclusions, and finally resources. So a little bit about the Summer Academy program. The Summer Academy program is an academic and co-curricular week-long program for any high school student. The general goals of the program are to increase understanding about the King's College mission, build an affinity for that mission and our brand, as well as preparation for if a student was to attend the King's College in New York City full-time. This is also a pipeline for admissions. The maximum that you would see in any given week is about 40 students. There are 6 academic tracks, and they correlate with the 9 academic programs at the King's College. Each of these tracks is taught by a faculty member. This is the schedule for the summer of 2019, which include Economics of Foreign Aid, Philosophy and the Good Life, Christian Leadership and the American Founding. Week 2 will be Arts and Culture Reporting, Sports Journalism, and Visual Storytelling and Design. Let's talk a little bit about the learning outcomes for the program. Now, the college right now is going through an interesting transition. The college in this iteration of being in New York City is only about 20 years old. And with the recent presidential change, there's no current strategic plan that the college is working off of. So what I've done is I've taken some liberties with the mission statement and conversations that are happening around campus to try to identify what the college university goals would be, as well as the Department of Academic Affairs, what their goals and how they would align with university goals, and then the specific program of Summer Academy and the learning outcomes for them. Missional alignment, we think is really important. The mission is central to everything that we do at the King's College. So we want to make sure that students are understanding and embracing the mission. We also hope that students are developing persistence generally as they come to the King's College. We know that college in New York City can be difficult, and we think this creates a different type of student that goes through this type of curriculum. And then also engaging the culture. We want to make sure that students have an opportunity to also engage New York City and build an appreciation for it. The department itself of academic affairs extends this by really seeing class cultivation, identifying shaping prospective students who demonstrate an affinity for the key facets of the mission. We also want those students to develop grit through this academic and co-curricular program by understanding the benefits of not taking the easy way out. We also hope that students will leave the week program understanding and loving New York City for all of its unique opportunities and ways to serve. For the program itself, each course has its own learning outcomes. But what I wanted to do is develop learning outcomes that would be for the program broadly and really encapsulate the co-curricular pieces, like the cultural outings that students will go on, and just the general week-long piece of being in New York. So my first learning outcome is, as a result of attending Summer Academy, students will articulate the mission of the King's College by describing King's unique place within Christian higher education. The second learning outcome would be, as a result of attending Summer Academy, students will gain an understanding of college student life, specifically attending classes and doing college level academic work. The final learning outcome for the program would be, as a result of attending Summer Academy, students will be able to identify key landmarks and institutions with unique internships and job opportunities. Really, this is an admissions pipeline program, so we want them to understand, build an affinity, and be prepared if they were to enroll in the following year. So I developed a survey that would be administered after the program was completed. And one of the things that we really thought about when considering a survey was keeping it short and also being mindful of some of the do's and don'ts. Um, from one of the articles I read in week 5, I thought that this quote was really helpful. Um, and it comes from Rashi Surem. For student affairs professionals, this age of accountability translates into an age of assessment. We must demonstrate that the work that we do is producing the desired results. This is never more important than even a co-curricular high school program. We want to see how these results are going to translate into helping students attend King's. I built a Google survey, and this will be in 3 parts. But essentially, I wanted to start with making sure that we had their name correctly and we could identify the survey results that would attach back through their application. Also wanted to confirm their track. Students could change tracks as late as the day before, and so we want to make sure that we have the right track recorded. Next, we want to make sure that we know what their graduating year is. We have a fair amount of homeschool and class school Christian school students, and so sometimes their graduation year may fluctuate depending on what kind of dual enrollment credits they might have. From here, I was using the Likert scale with 6 different choices, both from 1 being strongly disagree to strongly agree. And what I was trying to get here is a sense of the academic pieces. Um, did they have an understanding of college level work? How prepared do they feel about reading and writing at that level? And then also, um, do they see any benefit to living in an urban environment for college? And then also another co-curricular piece is students will learn to ride the subway. So we want to see how strongly they feel about their ability to navigate the subway system. From here, we have 2 open-ended questions. Want to get a sense of their understanding of the mission. It'll be taught through the academic work as well as the co-curricular work, and so we hope that they'll walk away with a better understanding of the King's mission and identify and put it in their own words and make it relevant to them. And then being able to name 3 prominent institutions, a lot of times the track leaders will take them to different organizations around the city. And so we want to make sure that they remember those organizations and see them as a future pipeline for their own career. Finally, the 11th question is what is known as the Net Promoter Score. This gives us an opportunity to see how strongly they would recommend this program to someone else. A 9 or a 10 is known as a promoter, and so we're hoping to get as many of those results as possible. So the timeline for assessment, again, we're using an exit survey given at the very end of the program. Here are some of our key targets. We want about 75% of students to be able to describe the mission in their own words. And these survey results will be assessed by staff members who would know the mission themselves well and be able to identify if students accurately were able to show what the mission is. From here, we also want to see that 85% of students say they feel like they agree or strongly agree that they're they're ready. They have a better sense of what it would take to do college level work, especially at the King's College. And then ideally, 50% of students will be able to identify at least 3 key globally influencing companies. By being able to answer that short answer question, I think that we could be able to identify 50%, and I'm hoping for even higher results. The timeline, students will be sent this survey, Google Forms, 30 minutes at the final level of their class. We only expect it will take about 10 minutes to complete the survey. They can do this from their phone, or each student will have their own computer with them. So the faculty members have agreed to give the last portion of the final day towards this survey. So my recommendations are, I think it's important to release these results to the faculty members who taught in each track. We also want to give these results to the Educational Ventures and Service Administrator. This is the person who actually runs the program itself. And since the program is designed to be an admissions pipeline, we want to make sure that are the students that attend as maybe juniors, are they applying as seniors, and are they enrolling at the end of their senior year? All of this we want to present finally to the Strategic Enrollment Committee, which makes up the president and other vice presidents, as well as the director of student success and myself, the director of admissions. So this would give us a good idea of whether or not this program is viable and it's achieving both the learning outcomes for students and also is a good pipeline for admissions. Thank you for your time today. And here are my final resources that I got for my presentation. Thank you.